So I just want to drop some advice for guys real quick. And I'm saying this from the perspective of a rapper. I'm a rapper. I'm one of the best rappers I know. And I'm not saying it facetiously. You can look up some of my videos, ask about me. If anybody's ever heard me rap, they can know that I'm a great rapper. But guess what? I can't freestyle for shit. Not on a beat. Not at the same time. I might could think of some words and like come up like one line at a time and then mumble some shit. You get what I'm saying? The point that I'm making is this. Just because you may have difficulties with spitting your game in person with a woman doesn't mean that you don't have game. Don't let people tell you that. We live in a day and age where you can pull badass women on social media, right? All you got to do is go on social media, go on online dating. You do want to have the ability to spit game in person, but we're going to call that freestyling, right? Not everybody's a freestyler, you know, but if you set up your game in a way to where it is honest to who you are, the things that you're saying, the things that you spit into a woman are things that are real, they're honest, but they're thought out. You might have created a format. That's a platform for you to work off of. After you get enough experience with that and you do it enough, eventually, you know, you freestyle some. It might not work the best for you all the time, but eventually you get comfortable in yourself and then you can more so spit off the cuff. But the thing to understand is that there's a certain rhythm, there's certain motifs that come with spitting game. And you can do a lot of that practice just in the inbox. You could take some formats, think about the game. The game didn't know how to rap as soon as he started rapping. The game learned how to rap by taking the lyrics and the songs of like Ice Cube and some of his favorite rappers, and then he would take the format that they rapped in, and then he would switch out and put his own words, and then that's how he began to rap. Think about Lil Baby. Lil Baby, he didn't start learning how to rap as soon as he started rapping. Lil Baby had Gunna write his raps, and he would pay him to write his raps, and now Lil Baby is bigger than Gunna. So what you got to understand is that when it comes to spitting game, when it comes to having game, doing it in person is not the only way that's valid. That's like somebody who says that you can't really rap unless you can freestyle in person off the top of your head, and then it sounds like Kendrick Lamar wrote a 16 for his album, right? That's not realistic, and it's not necessary. That's just like somebody who says you can't really sing unless you sound like Whitney Houston in person. That's bullshit. Because guess what? If you are a good writer, if you're writing things that really come from your heart, you could sing just a little bit, and then you go into the studio, you got a good engineer, then you can make your money off of putting your songs online, putting your songs on platforms, and then people will come and fuck with your music. And that's how most people are going to listen to it anyways. How often as an artist are you really going to make money off of shows, right? And even if you can't, guess what? You may be able to perform in other ways, or you may be able to get a good engineer who can get your mic synced up the right way so that you can do your performances, or you can get a vocal coach later. But are you going to wait until you feel like your vocals are perfect? Are you going to wait until you feel like you are a perfect freestyle rapper before you go do something? No. Most of the songs that are called freestyles these days are pre-written. You know, most of the things that people say are freestyles are pre-written, right? Drake dropped something that has freestyle in it. You know the nigga wrote the shit. If, you know, own brand freestyle, you think they didn't you think that freestyle on the top of their head? No, right? If we're looking at 5 Fingers of Death, do you think all these 5 Fingers of Death are things that come off of people's head? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And sometimes people don't have a whole lot of skill with rapping in the form to where they want to make that something they want to do for a living, but maybe they just have a very quick working mind. Some of the best freestylers I knew were not the best songwriters or the best rappers I knew when it came to their writing ability. It's just they had a quick mind and knew how to think on the spot. Not everybody is very extroverted. Not everybody's mind works so quick to where they're able to freestyle. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to think that you have to have the ability to just go approach any woman that you see. Yes, that's a point that you want to get to. That is a point that you want to get to. But understand what's just important is that when you spit your game, that you are effective and that you're honest. If you're effective, you're honest, you follow through on the expectations that you set, that's game. Don't worry about niggas trying to say, oh, if you can't just walk up and cold approach 1,000 women and then get all the women that you approach, that you're wrong or that you can't do it right. That's not true. The men who have the best game are men who have been rejected by the most women, right? Now, what that does is it gives you the opportunity to see what things will work for you and what things won't work for you. And it gives you the opportunity to do certain things and say certain things that you may not always have the opportunity to do online, because you might get banned from certain shit. You might get banned from Tinder. You might get, banned from Facebook and something like that. Going to Facebook jail for saying some wild shit on your page. Shit, I done spent plenty of time in Facebook jail. I done been banned from different like subreddits and stuff like that. I understand how it is. So, and I'm not talking about banned from subreddits from trying to talk to women. I'm talking about just banned from subreddits for just having an opinion, because a lot of people be sensitive as fuck on there. But what I'm saying is, you got to understand that don't put so much pressure on yourself to say, okay, cool, unless I can walk up to some brand new woman I met and talk to her, that's the measure and the litmus test of if I have game. It's not true. You can get beautiful women who are attracted to you, who are feminine and submissive with you, who you also can vet for common interests before you talk to them on social media. See, that's one thing about getting women on social media that's a little bit different than when you meet some random person in public. Only thing that you get when you meet a random woman in person is that you can't necessarily vet for what all of her common interests are before you engage with her. You could ask her, right? But why are you asking that? But what you can do on social media is you can look at a woman's page, see the things that she's into, and if she's into things that you're into, you can still implement the biology first approach. And then you already know certain ways that you can start integrating things into later if she's feminine, submissive, and on your program. You know different ways to add her interest into your bait if that's things that you have in common, so that can attract that woman to come to you, right? Brody scale of sexual attraction is more than just what happens when you're up front. That Brody scale of sexual attraction also works online. I think people need to understand there's a lot of guys who are on game, but they got their game before social media, right? I ain't had game before social media. I know my first girlfriend, I met her on Facebook, right? I'm an introvert and I've had success with it. So I'm not sitting there trying to tell guys, no, online dating is trash. No, you got to work on your shit. And social media is probably better than online dating. People say that social media isn't real. Nah, you can be the real you on social media in a way that makes you attractive for the outcomes that you desire. You can work on yourself in a way to where you present who you really are on social media. You're not a different person in a bad way when they meet you. You can be a different person, not a different person, but just have more facets to yourself that you kept to yourself until the right time. Just like when you interact with people, you don't share every single aspect of who you are when you first meet somebody. It doesn't work like that. There's always going to be a social mask. Social media is real life. So if you think social media isn't real life, that means you're focused on the wrong shit. I don't go on social media thinking about how much money somebody has or how much attention somebody gets and all this other shit. I'm thinking about, is this funny to me? All right, I'm gonna post that. Does this fit certain things within my program stuff I'm trying to do? Cool. If I say this particular thing, may this vet certain women out, may this arouse a certain response, may this paint me in a certain way that's accurate to who I am. And those are the things that I think of when I'm posting stuff on social media. And one thing that does is it creates a platform to where one thing you have the benefit of on social media that you don't always have in person is pre-selection. Don't get rid of the attention whores on your social media, right? Don't do that. Keep them around, because if they want your attention enough, they're going to be validating the things that you say in a way that makes other women who are attracted to you down with that. One thing about social media is, let's say you're going to another city. You can have a woman to fuck with in another city, 2-3 of them already lined up before you get there. So you don't have to go through trying to go to a club in another city and then find something out. Like some people have an issue with Tinder and say, oh, I'll never pay for it. Man, get you a Tinder, pay for that shit. No, see, some people ain't gonna tell you that. Pay for that shit. Pay for the Tinder. So when you pay for the Tinder, you have the ability to see all your likes, right? But not only do you have the ability to see all your likes, but if you're going to a different city, you can set your location in that location that you're going to so that you can go ahead, start swiping up, getting your matches, right? You get your matches, you swipe them up, get unlimited swipes. Boom. Now you might have, the right amount of women there that are already thinking about you. So when you get over there, you already kind of got it planned what you're going to do. And you ain't got to leave the house to go rich catching the Rona, going to some damn club that's not even your vibe. That's not even your setup, right? You have to do things that are realistic to you. Like me, I'm an introvert. I'm not a super social guy. If I'm social, chances are it's because I'm working. If I'm social, chances are it's because I'm out performing, I'm out acting, I'm out doing some boxing coaching, I'm out doing something related to something that's important to me. Most of the time when I leave the house, yeah, every once in a while I might see a woman and spit some game to her or something like that, give her my number. But for the most part, when I leave the house, I'm on some A to B shit. I'm handling business. I'm not really focused on trying to talk to some random woman I see in the street every day, right? And that's something, I probably could work on that. I could, yeah, I could, but I don't have to. Right? There's a difference between doing something because you want to and because you enjoy it, and doing it because you have to, right? Some people, it's natural for them to go out and about. If you're always out and about because you're a very social or extroverted person, then that could put you in a position where, yes, it benefits you to know how to connect with all of those women you come in contact with when you go out and about. If you're naturally an introvert, or if you like to spend a lot of your time on social media, then wherever you spend your time is where you need to know how to get women. So I just wanted to give this example and break this down from a perspective of looking at freestyling versus being a writer. You don't have to say everything off the cuff. You can have certain lines, right? You can have certain lines in your head. Just like when some people freestyle, they have a certain set of lines that they already have that they do on a regular basis. And then they might just fill in the gaps here and there, right? You can set your program on a matter of, you might have the same exact shit that you say to every single woman, right? But you just change certain things up, right? And you have your order, your progression, and you're not really trying to figure out the best thing to say to every single woman and switching things up. That's kind of feminine to be doing something different with every single woman. You want to figure out what is the best way to convey what you want, who you are, what you're about, in the most efficient and streamlined way possible, right? Make it a little bit personal to that specific woman about what it is that you're attracted to or desire about that particular woman, right? And all you're trying to do is set that up to where it gives the best chances as possible for what you want in the most efficient, effective way. And then you're just vetting women to see if they can get with that program. And when you vet women to see what they get that program, that's different than trying to figure out, okay, am I being too aggressive? Am I being too laid back? Am I being too direct? Am I being too indirect? Not every woman's feeling you. If you're trying to gauge how you're going to approach a woman based off of how much she's feeling you, that's feminine, because you're malleable. And that's the reason why you go through confusion when it comes to how you talk to and how you deal with women. You go through so much confusion because you're always trying to figure out, how are you going to make yourself attractive to this woman? Fuck her. She's not important. Until she adds value to your life, she has no value to you. Just because she's attractive and has a pussy doesn't mean that she has any value. So I just wanted to give y'all niggas some game, talk about this particular topic. Just because you can't freestyle don't mean you can't rap. There's nothing wrong with doing most of your dating on social media. It's Brody, I'm out.